Most people try to change their life in public and fail in private because they are doing everything except the one thing that actually matters. Self-improvement is not complicated, but most people overthink it until they quit and lie in bed, for example. The truth is, your life is controlled by a few invisible patterns, and once you see them, everything starts to shift. In one of my last videos I was talking about how fixing sleep will help you to create a true flow in life in order to finally reach the next big step, creating and managing your own business in an efficient way. As promised, we're going to talk about the first big step, which is the cornerstone to success, the topic and different patterns of self-improvement as a foundation. As usual, I gathered information, did my own research and speaking out of own experience. Here are the 8 rules that completely changed how I approach discipline, habits and identity. Rule number 1. Don't talk about it, do it in silence. Every time you tell someone your goal, you get a small emotional reward, and your brain feels like it already achieved something. That kills execution. Here's a simple example. A person decides to lose weight and get fit. Instead of quietly starting, going to the gym, eating better, staying consistent, they immediately tell everyone, "This year I'm going to transform my body." Friends reply, "Wow, that's amazing. You're so motivated and you'll definitely succeed." That praise gives them a good feeling right away. But after a few days, they skip workouts, lose discipline, and stop trying seriously. Why? Because part of the emotional reward came from talking about the goal, not from actually achieving it. Meanwhile, another person says almost nothing. They quietly train every week, eat properly, and stay disciplined. Months later, the results speak for themselves. Rule number 2. Start before you feel ready. Readiness is a trap. Nobody ever feels 100% ready. You become ready by doing. Think of a person who wants to start a business, but they keep telling themselves, "I still need to learn more. What if I fail? I'm not experienced enough yet. I'll start when I feel fully ready." So they spend months watching business videos, making plans, reading books, thinking about ideas, and waiting for confidence to appear. But they never actually begin. Another person also feels nervous and uncertain, but decides to start anyway. They launch a small version of their idea, even though they don't know everything yet. At first, they make mistakes, some decision fails, and they feel uncomfortable. They doubt themselves sometimes, but through real experience, they slowly learn how customers think, how to solve problems, how to improve, and how business actually works. Month after month, they become more capable and confident because they are actively doing the work. After a year, the first person is still preparing. The second person has real experience, real lessons, and possibly a growing business. The point is, nobody feels completely ready at the beginning. People become ready by taking action, learning from mistakes, and improving along the way. Rule number 3. Don't isolate yourself. Healing is not hiding from the world. Growth is not punishing yourself. And self-improvement is not self-hatred. You do not become a better person by disappearing from life, avoiding people, or waiting until you're fixed enough to exist again. Real change happens in the middle of living. You heal while answering messages even when you feel distant. You grow while showing up to work, school, or daily responsibilities. You rebuild yourself through small conversations, small efforts, and small moments of courage. You don't fix your life by escaping it. You fix it while living it. Rule number 4. Your life is built on small, disciplined decisions. Not motivation, not inspiration, not one perfect day where everything suddenly changes. Real change happens in the quiet moments where you choose between easier or better. In other words, instant or delayed gratification. It is about overcoming discomfort and working towards your long-term goals. Better, in this sense, is getting out of bed when you actually want to stay there. Better is doing the work even when you don't feel motivated. Better is speaking kindly to yourself instead of tearing yourself apart or living in a way that is disrespectful to your well-being, like eating junk food every day, for example. Because your future is not shaped by one huge moment. It is shaped by the small compounding choices you repeat every day. Easier gives you comfort now, but better builds the life you actually want later. Keep your long-term goals in mind and do not lose focus through instant short-term pleasures that pull you away from your future better self. Rule number 5. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. If your phone is next to you, you will use it. If junk food is visible, you will eat it. You don't fight environment, you design it. Willpower is a limited fluctuating resource. Your environment, on the other hand, is constant and silently making choices for you all day. So what you're really dealing with is not discipline versus temptation, but friction versus default behavior. If something is easy, visible and immediate, you'll do it without thinking. If something is hidden, annoying or requires setup, you'll avoid it. That's why just be disciplined often fails. It assumes you're making fully conscious decisions all the time, but most habits run on autopilot. A few practical ways people apply this. Phone use. Keep it in another room or use grayscale mode. Adds friction. Food. Don't store junk food at home. You can't resist what isn't there. Work focus. Make distractions harder to access than at work. Log out, block sites, full screen apps. Exercise. Put gym clothes, shoes visible. Reduces activation energy. Bad habits. Increase steps required. Delete apps and follow triggers and remove shortcuts. The key shift is, instead of asking, how do I resist this? Ask, how do I make this harder or less automatic? You don't outmuscle your environment, you redesign it, so the easiest option is also the right one. Rule number 6. Make it fit your personality. Most people fail because they copy systems that don't fit them. Discipline is not one size fits all. For example, an early riser may succeed with strict morning routines, while a night owl performs better working late in the day. Both can be disciplined. The key is building habits that match your personality and lifestyle. Rule number 7. Pay attention to how it feels. Your brain learns through repetition and emotion. If something starts feeling good, you repeat it naturally. That's when discipline becomes automatic. For example, after a few weeks of exercise, you may start enjoying the energy and confidence it gives you. Once you connect the habit with a positive feeling, staying consistent becomes much easier and more natural. Rule number 8. Stop regretting the past. You are not too late. You are not behind. Every version of you was necessary to reach this point. For example, someone may regret wasting years in the wrong job, but those experiences often teach valuable lessons, build resilience, and help them make better choices later in life. In my case, it was the university. All in all, I can say, self-improvement is not becoming someone else. It's removing everything that isn't you. And once you understand that, life doesn't suddenly become easy, but it becomes clear. And clarity changes everything. If you want to follow me for more, feel free to subscribe. And don't forget the bell. Cheers. And go with the flow.